Hello, sweeties. I'm Cookie Diorio, and this is Cookie's Video Jar. If I had a time machine and could travel to any point in history, there are a few choice destinations that I would set. One of them would be a European excursion through one of the richest periods of music history. Get ready, darlings, because I'm dragging you to the Baroque opera. Characterizing any period in history can easily be done by taking a look at what was going on in politics, technology, and the fashion of the day. Now, don't worry, because I'm not going to be talking to you about politics today, and while technology is very interesting, I would like to focus my journey back to the Baroque on what was fashionable, of course. Now, the period lasts roughly between the years 1600 and 1750, and the word Baroque comes from a Portuguese word meaning imperfect pearl, and it hadn't been given that name until after the style had already gone out of fashion. Over the course of 150 years, the in vogue styling changed dramatically. The beginnings were less ostentatious. An opera marked the rise of the solo melody line and distinguishable vocal arias. First up on my time travel excursion would be a trip to the year 1607 to see the opera L'Orfeo by Italian composer Claudio Monteverdi. Now, at this point in time, the hero would have often been played by a male soprano, and he would have been a castrato. And that means he was robbed of his manhood when he was a child so that his voice wouldn't deepen. Not so nice. Formally speaking, composers began writing in a way that gave just as much emphasis to the text as it did to the background music, which means that emotional content came to the forefront of what was going on.
Partita per mai più non tornare ed io rimango, no, che sei versi alcuna cosa pongo.
Next, I would skip over to the late 1680s and catch a performance of the opera Dido and Aeneas by English composer Henry Purcell, and God, I just love this man. Now, this is a point in time I truly believe I spent a previous life, because everybody but everybody, man, woman, and child alike, wore a wig. The men were dressing in vibrant silks and embroidered fabrics, and the women's gowns, they were bigger, larger than life. Here is where we also see the rise of the da capo aria, which means that the beginning of the song, which means to the head. The beginning of the song gets repeated at the end, where the singer is encouraged to improvise ornamentations on top of it. It actually became quite competitive amongst the best singers of the day, and each one was known for their particular style of ornamentation, just like jazz is today. Now, I have my own separate ideas about this, but that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video. Next, I would head directly to the year 1733 to catch the debut performance of the opera Hippolyte and Aricie by the French composer Jean-Philippe Rameau. Ooh, that's fun to say, isn't it? Jean-Philippe Rameau. This production gives me everything, darling. It fulfills every category of my operatic fantasy, and to me, this is the highest of high opera. Yes, ma'am. It just sounds like everything in the room is covered in powder, dusted in gold leaf, and surrounded by a flurry of fancy little curlicues. I live. And when I think of quintessential Baroque, this is absolutely what comes to my mind. What more can I say except watch them on repeat? I promise you will see or hear something new every single time. I'm Cookie Diorio. Thanks for watching. Ciao, sweeties!